Hi, welcome to the FresKaro 25kN Carabiner, and here we're going to show the difference that the FresKaro carabiners have against standard models. So first of all, we'll bring in a standard model, and indeed they do look very similar, but that's not the full story, of course. So if you take a closer look, we have the barrel gate on our model compared to a standard model. You see our gate is covering the nose at a very high position. Of course, this makes it much more secure. And on the standard model, you can see here the gate is very, very low down on the nose. And you can see here there's a very, very large gap between the nose where it fits in the barrel and where we have a more refined comfort fitting for the nose gate. If we open the two units, you may notice there's a bit of a difference here. The size of the nose, if we take out our little measuring tool and we go to the maximum size, get it the right way, so it's almost 6mm, and you can see on a standard model, well, it's about 5mm, so quite a difference. We look at the spine as well, you can see there's a difference here. We have 7.5, if we can see here, the same position. I'll have to close it a bit. So we give the benefit to say it's 6.5. So quite a substantial difference. Of course, that makes a difference to the actual true strength rating. One other thing to notice is if we look more closely, in fact we can do it to the side here, look. If we go home here, we can see, apart from obviously the difference in the barrel, a standard model has this little groove here. Now this groove actually, if I look closer, is exposing the spring inside. Sometimes that happens is that I've seen the spring retainer actually poking out, and it actually could not be smooth. You could actually catch. Of course, with our model, no such thing. The spring is inside and hidden. This has a benefit, of course, with dirt and grit. Could very, very much easily, when you can actually see the spring, would make this more susceptible for ingress, and of course thus be easily jammed. Whereas when you don't have that, I mean, you still have an entrance, but for sure it makes a big difference not having the spring visible. So that's just a couple of differences. Of course, we have all the true verified markings. We do include production date on our product so we can identify models, and we do batch test every single unit to the KN rating. Sometimes you may see very, very subtle mark because before packing we actually do a verification strength test on every single carabiner to make sure there's no potential unknown faults within the material as it's been manufactured. So that's a few differences there between a standard and our model of 25kN rated carabiner. Thank you.